In today's video, we're going to cover a car that saved Ford Motor Company as we know it. It single-handedly turned around a sinking ship. Between 1979 and 1982, Ford Motor Company lost $3 billion. You can't stay in business very long with those kind of numbers. Ford's management looked at statistics to not turn around sales numbers, but to look at their quality control. Famous statistician W. Edwards Deming told Ford that their management was responsible for 85% of their problems. I'm sure that went over really well with those in charge. Based on Deming's advice, Ford adopted a quality culture employing statistical process control across all aspects of automobile design and manufacture. Quality is job one became a common moniker for Ford marketing. The first vehicle produced after adopting these methods was the Ford Taurus, and that's the vehicle we're going to talk about today.
Taurus, now a North American car with the shape and the feel we've never seen before. Taurus, now there is a personal car that has exactly what we've been looking for.
For all of us who will not compromise, Ford listened. Ford created Taurus for us.
Taurus, Taurus for us. Taurus for us. Have you driven a Ford lately?
The release of the Ford Taurus was one of the most anticipated in the history of Ford Motor Company. Ford had orchestrated a long and intensive publicity program to prepare the public for this car. They had spent $3.5 billion in development, and it was considered a risky design. There was some concern in the company that America would reject something so different, not only in regards to its looks, but it was also front-wheel drive, and that was a first for a vehicle of this size. The first generation Taurus was launched the day after Christmas in 1985 as a 1986 model. It was available as a 4-door sedan or 5-door wagon. It featured a smooth, grille-less bottom breather nose, the door handles, headlight buckets, and all the glass panels were flush with the body of the car. There were very few right angles to be found anywhere in the car, regardless of where you looked. The aerodynamic design of the Taurus gave it a drag coefficient of 0.32. This made the car not only look more fuel efficient, but quieter as well, and it gave it a completely new look on the American road. The power plants at launch included a 90 horsepower 2.5-liter inline 4-cylinder paired to a 3-speed automatic, a 140 horsepower 3.0-liter V6 that produced 160 foot-pounds of torque and was paired to an AXOD-E 4-speed automatic transmission. A manual 5-speed was paired to the 2.5-liter 4-cylinder for the MT5 only. Car and driver tested a V6 automatic Taurus and netted a 0-60 time of 9.8 seconds, and the car crossed a quarter mile in 17.4 seconds at 79 miles per hour. The Taurus's interior was completely different. All of its controls were designed to be recognized by touch, allowing drivers to operate them without taking their eyes off the road. The switches to the power windows and power locks were designed with one half of the switch raised and the other half recessed. The car's dashboard had all the controls in a central area within reach of the driver. The left side of the dash curved slightly around the driver to make controls more accessible. There were 4 different trim levels of Taurus to choose from, and all were available as a sedan or wagon. The L came with the standard 2.5-liter engine, the 3-speed automatic, an AM radio, and a front cloth bench seat. The GL added the V6, a rear stabilizer bar, electronic mirror controls, a luxury steering wheel, an AM/FM radio, cargo tie-downs, front map pockets, visor mirrors, tinted glass, and electronic climate control. The LX came with the GL options as well as lower body side cladding, cornering lamps, a tilt steering wheel, illuminated visor mirrors, the light group, power lumbar supports, air conditioning, and power windows and locks. The MT5 was more like a GL, but it used the 2.5-liter 4-cylinder, and it featured a floor-mount 5-speed manual transmission and a console. The 86 Taurus was named to Car and Driver's 10 Best list and became the 1986 Motor Trend Car of the Year. Ford sold 236,346 Taurus for the 1986 model year.
This is the new Ford Taurus, Motor Trend Car of the Year. Taurus is more than just a new Ford product. It's the product of a new Ford philosophy. A belief that engineering and design should set trends, not follow them. Being named Car of the Year says a lot about Taurus, but perhaps more significantly, it says even more about Ford.
1987 and 1988 brought no changes to the Taurus lineup whatsoever. America's acceptance of the car exceeded Ford's expectations, and Ford sold 374,763 Ford Tauruses in the 1987 model year, and 387,577 were delivered in 1988. 1989 brought a change to the Taurus model lineup as the MT5 was dropped. Its 90 horsepower was never a popular option, either from people looking for a sportier car, nor from the family car buyers who preferred an automatic transmission. It was replaced by the 225 horsepower 5-speed manual transmission Taurus SHO. I covered these cars in depth in a separate video, which I will link at the end of this video. Other than this addition and departure, and some changes to available paint selections, little else changed. Ford sold 395,261 Tauruses in the 1989 model year. 1990 was a carryover year for the Taurus, and no changes from the 1989 model lineup were made. 333,011 Tauruses were sold for the 1990 model year. 1991 brought changes to the power plant lineup. The 2.5-liter 4-cylinder and its 3-speed automatic transmission were dropped. The 3.0-liter Vulcan V6 continued on and became the standard engine. The 165 horsepower 3.8-liter V6 was added as an option on the coupes and was the standard power plant for wagons. Both engines used the 4-speed AXOD-E automatic transmission. There were no other changes of note for the model year. Ford sold 303,833 Tauruses in 1991.
How do you improve a design like Ford Taurus? With no negatives, you simply accentuate the positives. Aerodynamic design becomes slipperier. Instrumentation and controls become handier. An inviting interior becomes friendlier. And in the end, the most award-winning car in its class becomes even classier. The new Ford Taurus. Have you ever wished the good things in life could get even better? Have you driven a Ford lately?
The 1992 model was a cosmetic redesign for the Taurus's exterior and interior. While it looks similar and familiar, its exterior and interior were completely redesigned. Its length was increased by a few inches, and a couple hundred pounds of weight was added. It now had a more rounded roofline, new headlight buckets, taillight buckets, all the body panels, excluding the doors, and the rear panels of the station wagons were redesigned. The interior was completely redesigned. The Taurus received a new dashboard, and staying true to the Taurus, it had all its vehicle controls near the left side of the dash within reach of the driver. The new dash also contained a passenger side airbag, a first of its kind. The seats, door panels, and radios were also redesigned. The new door panels contain integrated armrests, with the controls for power windows and locks mounted flat, allowing the driver to operate them without moving their arm. The new design proved popular, as Ford sold 342,117 Tauruses in 1992, making it the best-selling car in the United States. The next 3 years of production were all carryover years for the Taurus, and with good reason. The Taurus remained the best-selling car in America for the next 3 years straight, selling 427,304 in 1993, 343,872 in 1994, and 395,738 in 1995. Just a couple of quick exit notes on the Ford Taurus. These were exported to Japan. It was through a joint venture with Mazda. The vehicle was called the Autorama, and it was the SHO. It was available not only in sedan there, but also in wagon form. Japanese buyers had to pay additional taxes on these vehicles because the size and the output of the engine both violated government regulations in Japan. The Taurus did bail out Ford, make no mistake about that. In 1979, Chrysler had to be bailed out by the federal government. The economy was in rough shape. You had to know someone to get a job at McDonald's at the time. I know, I was in high school then. The fact that it took a statistician to tell Ford they needed to build quality cars and that management was their big problem is somewhat unsettling. Now, if you tuned in to see the Taurus SHO, I did a video on that vehicle a few weeks ago. You can find that right over here. If you like this video, please hit the like button. That's how YouTube works. They'll share it that way. Also, please consider subscribing. That's always appreciated. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. Until next time, we'll see you.